The title sounds shocking at first, almost unbelievable. And that reaction is exactly why this topic grabs attention. When people hear the idea of buying a wife for $35 in a country, it immediately raises questions about culture, poverty, legality, ethics, and the real lives behind such claims. This travel documentary explores a place where marriage traditions, economic realities, and social systems collide in a way that feels impossible from an outside perspective, yet very real for the people living there. As the journey begins, the camera moves through rural landscapes, dusty roads, small villages, and local markets. The design of the environment itself tells part of the story. Homes are simple, often made from mud bricks or basic concrete, with tin roofs and minimal furniture. Electricity is limited, water is fetched from communal wells, and daily life follows a rhythm shaped by survival rather than comfort. These visual elements are not just background. They are key design features of the documentary, helping viewers understand how economic hardship shapes human relationships. The concept of buying a wife here does not mean a straightforward transaction like purchasing a product, even though outsiders often frame it that way. Instead, it is rooted in a traditional bride price system, where a man pays money or goods to the woman's family as part of marriage. In this country, that amount can be as low as $35, especially in poorer rural regions. Performance-wise, the documentary does a strong job of breaking down this misunderstanding, showing that the low price reflects extreme poverty rather than the value of a human being. The camera follows local men who are searching for a bride. Many of them are farmers or laborers earning just a few dollars a day. Their performance in front of the camera is not scripted or exaggerated. You see nervous smiles, awkward silences, and genuine anxiety about being accepted. For them, marriage is not about luxury or romance as seen in movies, but about building a household, sharing labor, and ensuring survival. The documentary captures these emotions with close-up shots and natural lighting, giving an intimate feel without heavy production effects. On the other side of the story are the women and their families. The design of these scenes focuses on domestic spaces, kitchens, courtyards, and family gatherings. Girls often grow up knowing that marriage is not just a personal choice, but a family decision. In many cases, families accept a low bride price because they cannot afford to keep supporting their daughters. The documentary explains this carefully, using simple language alongside factual context so viewers can understand without feeling overwhelmed by statistics. A unique selling point of this documentary is how it balances shock value with education. While the title draws viewers in, the content itself slows down and adds layers. The narrator explains how $35 in this country can represent several months of income. When adjusted for purchasing power, the amount is still low, but it helps viewers understand why such practices exist. This performance aspect of storytelling, combining narration with on-the-ground interviews, keeps the audience engaged while learning. The legal side is also explored. Officially, forced marriage is illegal, and consent is required. However, enforcement is weak, especially in remote areas. The documentary design uses contrasts here, showing government buildings in cities versus isolated villages, where state presence is almost non-existent. This visual comparison helps explain why traditional systems continue despite modern laws. Another important feature is how the documentary avoids portraying people as villains or victims in a simplistic way. Men are not shown as buyers with power, and women are not shown as helpless objects. Instead, the film highlights a system where poverty limits choices for everyone involved. This balanced performance makes the documentary feel credible and respectful, which is crucial for such a sensitive topic. Cultural rituals around marriage are shown in detail. Simple ceremonies, traditional clothing, symbolic gifts, and community meals are all part of the design elements. These scenes add depth and show that even in extreme poverty, people maintain traditions and a sense of dignity. The camera work here focuses on faces, hands, and small gestures, emphasizing humanity rather than spectacle. The documentary also looks at how globalization and social media are changing perceptions. Younger generations are increasingly aware of life outside their villages. Some women now resist early marriage, hoping for education or city jobs. This creates tension between tradition and change, which the documentary captures through interviews and observational footage. Performance-wise, these moments feel raw and unscripted, adding authenticity. From a technical standpoint, the documentary uses natural sound, minimal background music, and handheld camera movements. This design choice gives it a raw, almost journalistic feel, making viewers feel like they are walking alongside the filmmaker. There are no flashy graphics or dramatic effects, which helps maintain trust and seriousness. One of the most striking aspects is how the documentary challenges the viewer's assumptions. The idea of buying a wife sounds brutal, yet the reality is more complex. In some cases, women actively agree to these marriages because they see it as the best available option. This does not justify the system, but it explains it. The documentary's unique selling point lies in presenting these uncomfortable truths without telling the audience what to think. Economic breakdowns are explained in simple terms. The narrator compares daily wages, food prices, and housing costs to show why $35 can be a life-changing amount. This technical detail is presented in layman-friendly language, making it accessible even to viewers with no background in economics. The travel aspect is also strong. Viewers are introduced to local food, transport, and daily routines, riding overcrowded buses, walking long distances, and sharing meals with locals adds context and keeps the documentary engaging beyond its central theme. These elements improve overall performance by preventing the story from becoming too heavy or repetitive. Interviews with local elders explain how the bride price tradition began as a way to compensate families and formalize relationships. Over time, economic decline turned it into a symbol of hardship. The documentary design allows these voices to be heard without interruption, respecting local perspectives, even when they conflict with modern values. Throughout the film, the filmmaker remains mostly off-camera, allowing subjects to speak for themselves. This choice enhances credibility and avoids the feeling of exploitation. The performance of the documentary relies on observation rather than confrontation, which suits the topic well. The emotional impact builds naturally as viewers see young girls, tired parents, and hopeful grooms navigating limited choices. There is no dramatic climax, just a gradual understanding of a system shaped by poverty, tradition, and lack of opportunity. The documentary's strength lies in this slow, honest reveal. By the time viewers fully understand what $35 represents in this country, the title takes on a different meaning. It becomes less about shock and more about awareness. The documentary stands out because it uses travel as a tool to explore social issues, combining cultural design, human performance, and factual explanation into a single, immersive experience.